Where are we headed?
Jongar diyorsun.
Unexpected noise sweeping the area.
What was that? I don't. What's your? I don't want any trouble out of you.
Here they come!
Prachtig. You already knew, you already knew. Maar dat is al klaar voor Octane opgefokt. Kom doen dat het even meer. Shit. Fucked up. Ja. Oh, act like sick.
Captain, I am receiving.
Voor wat? Ik zie zeker wat je van praat is. Misschien het ik, misschien dat ik. Ik kan niet nou mooi daar nu.
A transmission from Dr. Well. Captain, I shall now place.
The board is here. They've found me somehow.
cats to board. All their lackeys, they're all a bunch.
It would seem. How could. Goodbye. We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
I'm on my way, Phineas. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Phineas, so pad my chummy. Ik ga my Gatling gun uithaal, ons alles alright, Phineas. What the fuck do you think you're doing here, huh? You're on, I'm scared. Why? Wat een moer zo goed hier gevoerd.
Nicely done.
Oh, funny. The gun I've been waiting for so long. Fucking assault waffle. Enter passcode. Personal finance fees are only. First signature. Third. Enter it. Doesn't. Exit leave. Oh, Phineas, hoe kon hulle ou Phineas so betry? Huh? Hoe kan jy dit doen? Huh? Ja. Ja, sy goed kom omruit nie. Oh, Phineas. Fucking corporate agents. Fucking corruption. Dus ek het die game gekoop. Die Outer Worlds. Ag, is basies 'n space game. Daar's 'n spaceship met baie mense wat in 'n capsules in is. En hulle is nie gevries nie, maar hulle is lê net daar. En 'n scientist save jou En dan help jy die scientists om die regte materials te kry sodat jy almal kan sê wat op die ship was, nie net jy nie. Ons klas. Dis is Skyrim en Fallout 4 combined. Dis nog ons klas. Ek sal baie geniet hierso. Ja.
So-
Nee, ek wil gou hierdie ding afkry, asseblief. The Phineas gun. Kan ek oh, sy ding nogal baie.
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating.
Of course I'm anticipating it. What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean in. Work with it. You're in control.
Captain,
Well, folks, I ain't exactly keen on busting into a prison, but riddling bored stooges with bullets does sound...
Mr. Phineas is just about the only person with power trying to do any kind of good in Halcyon.
to extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite... I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need to...
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close...
It's the craziest, and I mean that as...
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll...
I think it's insane.
I know it's dangerous.
You're asking for more than bravery.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's one of...
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain.
We gonna prepare?
Straightforward and simple.
Okay, laat ek dit gou almal opkeer vir dit. Kom Victor, ek moet vir jou 'n paar goed gee hierso. Hierdie 38 armor gaan omtrent goed uitwerk vir jou. 38 is beter. 38, 36 en dit is 84. Ek kan nie dit nie. Dit vir my nou. Myne gee 84. So Victor hierso. Jy kan dit kry. Boom. Dis jou guns. Ons gee vir jou beter gun. Geef jou flamethrower. If not, why not? Ek gee vir jou 'n sexy ding, soos dit. Parvati, jy is okay. Alles is Chanana vir jou. Wow, let's do this, motherfuckers. Let's fuck some kids up. Tetris. Yes, I would. Would you like to save? Yes, I would. Let's fucking do this, boys.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including the interior, can be chilly. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. In the event I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876 million. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am
Attention.
Unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket.
Wow, of all places to get arrested. Wait, this is there. Mauser, I'll just leave.
UDL does appreciate the courtesy. As a show of our
Fire, execute, I. What is that?
protocol. The sentencing of one crime to starter. Wait.
Transmission term. How can I be of assistance? I require.
Let's fuck these kids up, bro. Ja, ek kies wie saam met my gaan. Alright, as dit die gaan ou Felix wees. Victor. Sorry Victor, ek gaan dit moet vat. Jy kan die vat. Die hand. Die gun wat jy het, Victor. Wat shotgun? Parvati, hallo Parvati, vat. Vat jy vrou en vrouwer? Met dit, 57 armor. Wat is dit? 49 armor, jy kan dit vat. Felix, my broer, hierso. 160. Drive. 49. 55. 84 Parvati, hierso. And all's good, let's go fuck some kids up. Ek gaan guns blazing en gaan dan ek is gatvol nie in guns blazing in te gaan. Net ja. Jy praat mos in 'n game hier, gaan skietskop en donder. Go in guns blazing.
The captain did right by us. Now it's ours. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Margot.
That's the last of him!
Processing data.
Great work.
Move along.
Does a prison have for bars? First, when it's got a storm like that guarding the gates.
They say nobody's ever broken out of the labyrinth. Didn't say nothing about breaking in, though.
let's look around. There's gotta be a few ways through here.
That was fun.
Huh? What was that?
Here they come!
Uit, man.
That's working, boss.
Level 29. Dis ook my long range 70. En dan my Huh? Ek het ook op die gat van nou geraak. Ek het dit, dus kom ek afgesit het. Elite armor, okay. 84. Nou, ek sal my elite armor aantrek. Ek fancy like. Hierso, Phoenix. Jy kort 'n upgrade. Ek sien. Sit jy? Wat doen nou na sy? Sal net die res van die fokkers. So Parvati, daar is vir jou 'n elite armor ook. Sy. Net ons 'n full armor set. Ons kort nou net vir hierdie mannetjie armor set. Ja, nou armor kry, maar nie. Don't worry, as if armor kry, don't you worry. Don't worry. Jy het 'n spanne armor set kry. What's here? patient in. Shit. Gambari, senpai. Dark Souls is baie moeiliker as Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a breeze.
Let's dance!
Ja. Ja, die bosses. Dark Souls 100%. Bloodborne's easy, ja. Ek het al die Dark Souls gesong. Pus moeilik baie goed. Daar sê jy baie vrek. Huh?
This is what the board wants. Every worker in Halcyon stuffed into one of those chambers.
Eerste baas van wat? Dark Souls. Eerste baas van Bloodborne is so maklik as die snaaks nie. Oh. It's an easy game, man. Nee, Dark Souls kan nie die ou broer is die ding. Ja, nou, oor hy gesê het is seker dom. Dis interessant. Oh, shit.
Let's go. Stellar base counting on us.
Down they go!
Don't mess with the best.
Ek kan vir jou nou sê, Dark Souls is my more difficult, in my opinion.
These corporate sulfur stains ain't gonna know what hit them.
Ag, nee, fuck, Dark Souls is pushmilk vir my. Ja, raai maar, ja, dat is blak. Die bossen van hierdie ding is maklik, hè. Ja. Hulle is ja. Verstaan nie hoekom hulle sê Bloodborne is erger as Dark Souls, not the fuck. Oh, wat is dit? Normaal ek het met 'n ek kan nou nie die naam onthou, maar ek het met 'n shield en 'n swaard gespeel. Maar ek het my swaard ek weet nie hoe om vir te verduidelik. 'n Spesiale swaard gespeel. Dan speel net Dark Souls en dan kyk jy wat is jou opinie.
Everybody, hold on!
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may be expensive, but they're worth it, you know.
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to...
I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exact...
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the... I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk... Beside.
Yeah, right, ice shards. Maar ik had ook gedacht dat aan de basketballen dat gewoon goed was dat het zo Huh? Wat zie je? Ja, nou dus, ja, het heeft gechanged, want ik gehoord niet van het fucking ding.
So, get in there and fight!
Baie moeilijk.
Oh, that's the last of him.
Dan die game is een breeze verlengen met die Valkyrie Queen. Waar is hier zo? Comparison. Yes, pa. Doe jij Assassin?
Ja. Nee, dat was.
Dit nog? Huh? Oh, jij klaar.
You remember from Alex from the church? He was Alex from the church. The whole community church.
Wat van hem?
Echt van de line characters.
All right, boss. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Wat van ons character? I don't mind actually.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
I was busy with it and then somebody came in and then I did your mom's money and I didn't put immediate payment. Ja, so you weet this fucking kaffer.
Do you imagine you're leading some grand... The iconoclasts and MSI have put aside their differences and attacked the prison together. I never imagined such a thing would be possible. But here we are. You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion. The board is the only legitimate... I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The board's plan never accounted... I have Dr. Wells in my custody. I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloody... I take no pleasure in this, you know. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. I had a feeling you'd... This prison is equipped with an... And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died...
How's my lock picking? A bit?
Wow, how'd you do that?
Wat ene?
Nicely done.
Wat 'n bros praat jy nou van, Tia? Oh, daai nou ja. Wat een boss fight is wel. Ja, ek gaan my gat af. Whew.
Why won't you just...
Messing with you, boss.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind. Ah, all in a day's... You've broken the board's stranglehold on... You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save... I would like nothing more than to... Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago? And the board's just been...
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to... We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. And then we're going to fix the... We're going to need a leader. And I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What? You won't hear a word of disagreement. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony... We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and our future is uncertain, and no one knows.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if a replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. As for Reed Thompson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to the new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Beautiful.